Welcome to Sci-Fi Tales Adventure Rocket. 4 thrilling sci-fi stories and cosmic adventures. Subscribe now. The Huntress stalked her human prey for a week in the jungle, but she became the prey. The jungle of Ravax 4 was a cathedral of green shadows. Towering trees wove their roots into walls of living stone, their canopies blotting out the sun. Strange birds cried from unseen branches, and the air was heavy with the scent of rain and blood. It was the perfect hunting ground. The Huntress moved silently through the undergrowth, her obsidian armor blending with the foliage. She was Velari, born of a warrior caste that prided itself on one thing above all: the hunt. To stalk, to chase, to bring down prey stronger than herself was not just duty, but joy. And her chosen prey was human. He had been found wandering after a skirmish, alone, unarmed, yet somehow he had evaded capture. The Velari laughed at the idea of a human surviving long in Ravax 4's wilderness. But the Huntress had scented challenge. She would take him. Alive, if possible. Dead, if necessary. For 7 days she tracked him, always finding traces, broken branches, faint footprints in mud, the remnants of a fire carefully smothered. He was clever, this human. Too clever for his kind. She smiled beneath her mask. The longer the chase, the sweeter the kill. The first signs. On the second night, she found a snare. Primitive, made of vine, but cunningly hidden. Had she stepped in it, a sharpened branch would have pierced her leg. Interesting. On the third night, she saw smoke curling faintly through the trees, but when she reached it, the fire was gone, ashes scattered. Only a strip of cloth remained, hanging deliberately, as if mocking her. By the 5th night, irritation pricked at her pride. No prey had ever evaded her this long. And worse, she began to feel eyes on her. Turning of the hunt. On the 6th day, she thought she had him cornered. She followed fresh tracks to a clearing, every sense sharp, her spear ready. The jungle was too still, too quiet. Then something whistled through the air. She spun as a stone, just a stone, struck her shoulder guard with enough force to stagger her. By the time she recovered, the clearing was empty. She growled low in her throat. The human was toying with her. That night, as she rested in the crook of a tree, something clattered nearby. She leapt down, spear raised, only to find her own trail marked with a crude figure scratched into the dirt. A stick figure, waving at her. Her jaw clenched. The hunter was being hunted. The meeting. On the 7th day, she woke to silence. Too late, she realized her pack had been rifled through. The human hadn't stolen much, just her water flask and a strip of dried meat. Enough to prove he'd been close. Her anger flared, but beneath it, something else. Admiration. When she finally saw him, it was not in ambush but openly. He stood across a river, bare-chested, scarred, mud streaked across his skin. His eyes, dark, steady, met hers without fear. "You've been following me," he said. His voice was rough, but calm. The Huntress tilted her head, mask gleaming. "You are prey." He gave a faint, humorless smile. "Prey doesn't leave traps. Prey doesn't track the hunter." Her grip tightened on her spear. "You dare." "Maybe," he said. "Or maybe I've just decided this hunt belongs to me now." Then, before she could react, he slipped back into the jungle, vanishing like mist. The reversal. From that moment, the rhythm changed. She no longer found his signs, he found hers. Food she cached went missing. The water she drew from a stream was fouled with mud. At night, she woke to the feeling of being watched, only to see nothing. The prey had learned her patterns. Her steps grew harsher, her patience thinner. She struck at shadows, speared branches, slashed at nothing but vines. The jungle, once her ally, now seemed to mock her. And then came the traps. A branch whipped across her mask. A pit opened beneath her, vines cutting her arms as she barely leapt aside. A sharpened stake drove into her thigh, shallow but burning. She was bleeding, and she was afraid. The confrontation. At dusk on the 7th day, she stumbled into a clearing, her body aching, her pride in tatters. He was waiting there. No armor, no weapon but a sharpened stick, yet he stood as though the jungle itself had crowned him victor. The huntress leveled her spear, though her arms trembled. "Why?" she demanded. "Why fight? You are human. You should run. Hide. Die quietly." His gaze never wavered. "Because I've spent my whole life being hunted. By war. By hunger. By people stronger than me. I got tired of running." He took a step closer. "And because I wanted to see what happened when the hunter realized she wasn't the only one with teeth." For the first time in her life, the huntress felt something alien burn in her chest. Not rage, not pride. Respect. Her spear lowered slowly. "You should be dead," she said softly. "Maybe," he answered. "But you chased me for a week, and I'm still standing. What does that make me?" The jungle seemed to hold its breath. Finally, she removed her mask. Her golden eyes, sharp as blades, locked onto his. "It makes you more than prey." Epilogue. The Velari Huntress returned to her people weeks later, her armor scarred, her pride transformed. When asked if she had killed the human, she simply said, "No." The jungle chose him. He is not prey. He is something else. And somewhere deep in Ravax, 4, a human moved through the shadows with the ease of a predator, knowing he had turned a huntress into the hunted, and earned her respect forever.